Every year, over 6 million acres of peanuts are harvested in the United States alone. That's enough to produce more than 1.6 billion pounds of peanut butter, enough to fill over 500 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And America eats it all. More than 90% of US households have at least one jar of peanut butter in their kitchen right now. But how exactly do we turn this humble underground legume into the creamy, golden spread that fuels breakfasts, sandwiches, and desserts around the world? Today, we're going deep into the massive industrial process behind your favorite snack. This is how millions of tons of peanuts are harvested to make delicious peanut butter. Peanuts aren't actually nuts, they're legumes. And unlike tree nuts, peanuts grow underground. It all starts on sprawling farms in the southern United States, places like Georgia, Alabama, and Texas, where the climate is warm, the soil is sandy, and the sun is relentless. Farmers begin planting peanuts in late spring. Seeds are sown about 2 inches deep in rows stretching across hundreds of acres. Each seed will grow into a small bush no more than 18 inches tall. As the plant matures, it develops yellow flowers that self-pollinate and drop toward the soil. These pegs, long stems that grow downward, dig into the earth and form peanut pods. It takes about 140 to 160 days from planting to harvest. During this time, the fields are carefully managed, irrigated, weeded, and sometimes treated against pests like nematodes and aphids. By early fall, the peanut pods underground are fully mature, each containing 2 to 3 kernels that will soon become peanut butter. Harvest season begins in September and lasts until early November. And it's a race against the weather. Too much rain and the crop can rot underground. The first step is digging. Giant machines called peanut diggers or inverters roll through the fields. These specialized harvesters loosen the soil, pull up the plants, and flip them over to expose the peanuts to the sun. The peanuts are left in windrows, neat rows of upside-down plants, to dry naturally for 3 to 4 days. This crucial step reduces moisture and prevents mold growth. Next comes combining. A different machine, called a peanut combine or thresher, drives along the windrows. It strips the peanuts from the vines, collects them in a holding tank, and expels the leftover plant matter back into the field. A single modern combine can harvest up to 5 acres of peanuts per hour. An astonishing scale when you realize millions of tons are processed each year. After combining, the raw peanuts are trucked to nearby buying points for further cleaning and inspection. At the buying station, the peanuts go through an intense quality control process. First, they're cleaned to remove rocks, sticks, soil, and plant debris using giant rotating drum sifters and air blowers. This ensures only pure peanut pods move forward. Next, they're dried to a specific moisture level, usually around 10%. This is done using large drying wagons or stationary dryers with forced hot air systems. Over-drying can crack the peanuts. Under-drying makes them prone to spoilage. Once dried, the peanuts are graded by USDA inspectors. They check for size, shell integrity, mold, insect damage, and overall quality. Only the best peanuts, known as runner peanuts, are chosen for peanut butter production. These are uniform in size, making them ideal for roasting and grinding. Substandard peanuts may be redirected for animal feed, oil production, or other industrial uses. After grading, the peanuts are sent to a shelling plant. Here, giant machines crack open the peanut shells without damaging the kernels inside. The shelling line includes mechanical rollers that crush the shells, vibrating conveyors that separate kernels from husks, optical sorters that remove discolored or damaged peanuts. Each step is carefully controlled to preserve the integrity and flavor of the peanuts. By the time this process is done, you're left with thousands of pounds of clean, golden, shelled peanuts, ready to be roasted. Roasting is one of the most important steps in peanut butter production. It's what gives peanut butter its iconic aroma and deep flavor. The raw shelled peanuts are poured into large industrial roasters, horizontal, rotating drums that heat the peanuts to between 300 degrees Fahrenheit and 350 degrees Fahrenheit, about 150 to 175 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. Hot air circulates through the roasters to ensure even cooking. Technicians constantly monitor temperature and color to prevent burning. After roasting, the peanuts are quickly cooled using forced air to halt the cooking process. At this point, the skins are loosened and the peanuts move into a blanching machine, which uses either dry brushing or steam to remove the papery outer skins. The blanched peanuts are then sorted again. Only uniform, golden brown kernels make it to the next phase, grinding. Now comes the magic, turning solid peanuts into creamy peanut butter. The roasted, blanched peanuts enter industrial grinders, giant steel mills that crush and grind them into a smooth paste. The grinding process happens in 2 stages. 1. Primary grinding crushes the peanuts into a thick paste. 2. Secondary grinding refines the texture into either creamy or crunchy, depending on the product. At this stage, ingredients like salt, sugar, and hydrogenated vegetable oils may be added, depending on the recipe. These enhance flavor, sweetness, and shelf stability. Natural peanut butter usually skips these additives and relies on pure peanut content. Crunchy versions get an extra scoop of coarsely chopped peanuts, folded back into the smooth base. Once mixed, the peanut butter is homogenized, a high-speed blending process that ensures consistent texture and prevents oil separation. The finished peanut butter flows through sterilized stainless steel pipes into filling machines. Each jar, whether glass or plastic, is vacuum-filled to prevent air bubbles and maintain freshness. Next, lids are applied and tightly sealed with tamper-evident rings or foil liners. Some factories even inject nitrogen into the jar to displace oxygen and extend shelf life. Then comes labeling. High-speed labelers apply brand logos, nutritional info, and barcodes within milliseconds. Finally, jars are packed into boxes, stacked on pallets, and shrink-wrapped, ready for shipping to grocery stores around the world. In a single day, a modern facility can produce over 250,000 jars of peanut butter. America leads the world in peanut butter production, producing over 1.6 billion pounds annually. But peanut butter isn't just popular in the United States. It's gaining ground globally, in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Brands like Skippy, Jif, and Smucker's dominate the shelves, but smaller artisan brands are also finding fans with unique blends like honey roasted, chocolate swirl, and even spicy peanut butters. From school lunches to baking, fitness shakes to military rations, peanut butter has become more than just a spread. It's a symbol of comfort, nutrition, and versatility. Peanut farming is surprisingly sustainable. Peanuts require less water than almonds or cashews. They enrich the soil with nitrogen, making them a valuable rotational crop. And every part of the plant, from vines to shells, is reused as animal feed or mulch. Manufacturers are also exploring plastic-free jars, compostable packaging, and energy-efficient roasting systems. As demand for plant-based protein grows, peanut butter remains a champion of affordable, sustainable nutrition. We bring you deep dives into how the world's most fascinating foods are made, from the farm to your plate. So if you love discovering the magic behind everyday things, you're in the right place. Every autumn, a spectacular transformation happens across vast wetlands in North America. The fields turn red, not from leaves, but from cranberries. Millions of tons of these small, tart berries are harvested, processed, and turned into everything from juice to sauces and snacks. But how are cranberries grown, harvested, and processed at such an enormous scale? Let's go inside the incredible world of cranberry farming. Cranberries aren't your typical fruit crop. They don't grow on trees or tall bushes. Instead, they thrive in special low-lying wetlands known as cranberry bogs. These bogs are often built on top of natural marshes and require acidic peat soil, a reliable water supply, and a cold climate. That's why most commercial cranberries are grown in just 5 U.S. states: Wisconsin, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Oregon, and Washington, as well as in parts of Canada. Cranberry plants are hardy vines that can live for decades. In fact, some vines still in production today are over 100 years old. The farming season begins in spring. Once the frost recedes, growers begin prepping the bogs. New vines are planted in rows. Irrigation systems are checked, and bees are brought in during June to pollinate the cranberry flowers. As summer progresses, the tiny berries develop from green to white and eventually ripen into their iconic deep red color by early fall. Cranberries can be harvested in two main ways, dry or wet. But over 90% of commercial cranberries are harvested using the wet method, especially those destined for juices, sauces, and dried snacks. Here's how it works.
And how can we take care of the land so the land is taking care of us?
When the berries are ripe, usually from mid-September to early November, the bog is flooded with up to 18 inches of water.
Responsible to the industry as a whole.
We believe firmly in science leading the way in making decisions on how to grow better.
Then a harvesting machine called a water reel or egg beater churns through the bog, gently agitating the vines. This loosens the berries, which have small air pockets inside and naturally float to the surface. In a matter of minutes, the bog turns into a sea of red. Crews use floating booms to corral the cranberries into tight bunches. Pumps or conveyors then lift the berries out of the water and onto trucks. Each flooded bog can yield tens of thousands of pounds in just a few hours. For cranberries sold fresh in stores, a more delicate method is used, dry harvesting. In this process, bogs remain dry and a mechanical picker brushes the vines, lifting ripe berries without damaging them. Workers then collect the berries using bins or belts. While it's more labor-intensive, dry harvested berries have a longer shelf life and better appearance, ideal for Thanksgiving displays and holiday baking. After harvesting, the cranberries are trucked to processing facilities. Here, the first step is cleaning. The berries are washed to remove debris, leaves, and bugs. Next, they're sorted by color, size, and firmness. A series of screens, air jets, and water channels separate the ripe, firm berries from the damaged or unripe ones. Some facilities use optical sorters, advanced machines that photograph each berry and eject defective ones using tiny bursts of air. Only the best cranberries move on to the next stage. Now the berries are ready to become a wide array of cranberry products. For juice, the berries are crushed into a pulp and heated. The liquid is then filtered, pasteurized, and either bottled directly or concentrated for shipping. To make dried cranberries, the berries are sliced, sweetened, and dried using warm air tunnels. This process can take several hours and results in the chewy texture many people love in salads and trail mix. Cranberry sauce follows a different route. The whole berries are cooked with sugar and water until they burst. The result? A thick, tangy spread that's become a staple on holiday tables across North America. Meanwhile, cranberry powders, extracts, and capsules are manufactured for the growing health supplement market, thanks to the berry's rich antioxidant content. Once processed, the final cranberry products are carefully packaged. Juices go into PET bottles, cartons, or large commercial containers. Dried cranberries are vacuum sealed in plastic pouches or bulk bags. Cranberry sauce is canned or jarred. Each package is labeled with lot numbers, expiration dates, and quality control stamps before being boxed and palletized for distribution. These products are then shipped across the country and exported worldwide to grocery stores, bakeries, food manufacturers, and restaurant chains. From field to finished product, the journey takes just days, but the planning spans an entire year. Cranberry farming is deeply intertwined with the environment, and sustainability is central to modern practices. Growers use precision water management to minimize usage and prevent runoff. Floodwaters used during harvest are recycled across bogs. Integrated pest management techniques reduce the need for chemical pesticides. Native grasses are planted along the edges of bogs to prevent erosion and support pollinators. Some farms even use leftover berry pulp as compost, returning nutrients to the soil. And as consumer demand grows for traceable, eco-friendly products, many cranberry producers are investing in certifications and new technologies to reduce their footprint. Long before cranberries became a commercial crop, they played a vital role in Native American cultures. Tribes like the Wampanoag and Algonquin used cranberries for food, dye, and medicine. They even mixed cranberries with dried meat and fat to make pemmican, a high-energy survival food. Today, cranberries are a $1.5 billion industry in the US alone, with millions of barrels produced annually. But the tradition lives on. Families still gather to celebrate the harvest. Tours and festivals invite visitors to walk through flooded bogs, and Thanksgiving dinner just wouldn't be the same without a spoonful of cranberry sauce. From wild marshes to high-tech harvesters, from tart berries to sweet snacks, the journey of the cranberry is nothing short of remarkable. It's a story of science, nature, and history, blending tradition with innovation. So next time you sip cranberry juice or spread some sauce over your turkey, remember the incredible effort behind every berry. Cranberries, small in size, mighty in impact. If you enjoyed exploring the incredible world of cranberry farming with us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more behind-the-scenes documentaries just like this. We dive deep into how your favorite foods, products, and machines are made, from farm to factory and beyond. Hit the like button if you learned something new, and tap the bell so you never miss a story from the world of production. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Every year, millions of tons of sugar beets are harvested around the world. Humble root vegetables that transform into one of the most widely used ingredients on Earth. Sugar. From the fertile fields of North America and Europe to high-tech factories running 24/7, sugar production from sugar beets is a marvel of agricultural science and industrial engineering. In this video, we'll take you behind the scenes of how sugar is made, from planting and harvesting sugar beets to extracting and refining the crystals inside, until it becomes the white granules we sprinkle into our tea or mix into desserts. Did you know that sugar is one of the world's oldest documented commodities? While the first indications of sugarcane's domestication were around 8000 BCE, extracting real sugar from beets is a more recent discovery. The modern sugar beet's roots are buried deep in history, politics, and geography. In 1747, 3 decades before the American colonies declared their independence, German chemist Andreas Marggraf discovered that sugar beet roots contain sucrose, the same sugar as that of sugar cane. Marggraf's apprentice, Franz Karl Achard, began selectively breeding sugar beets in 1784. In 1801, he opened the world's first sugar beet factory in what is now Poland. The sugar content of those first factory beets was 6% compared to modern beets 15% to 20% sucrose. During the Napoleonic Wars 35 years later, the English blockade of continental Europe cut off cane sugar supplies from the West Indies. This prompted the development of beet sugar's commercial viability. By 1850, the sugar beet industry was well established in Europe. Sugar beets made their way to New England in 1836, but failed to take root. In the middle of the 19th century, an attempt was made to cultivate sugar beets in Utah, but that was not successful either. It wasn't until 1870 that the first successful sugar beet factory was built in the United States in Alvarado, California. It was then that the industry took off. By 1914, the United States rivaled Europe in sugar beet production. 3 years later, there were more than 90 sugar beet factories operating in 18 states. As of 2017, there were 20 operating sugar beet factories in 9 states, processing 35 million tons of sugar beets grown on more than 1 million acres. Today, sugar beets are grown in 52 countries. More than 4.5 million tons of sugar are produced each year in the US from sugar beets, which represents more than 54% of domestic sugar production in the US. Sugar beets thrive in temperate climates with long daylight hours, such as the northern US, Canada, Germany, France, and Ukraine. Fields are plowed and leveled to ensure proper drainage, and GPS-guided tractors plant the seeds in precise rows, about an inch deep and several inches apart. As the beets grow, they begin to store sucrose in their fleshy roots. Within 90 to 120 days, the plant develops a leafy crown above ground, while the beet underground swells, eventually reaching the size of a football and weighing between 2 to 5 pounds.